Hello, my Nubian beauties. Welcome back to the Dark Skin Click. Y'all know who this is. I'm Akila Shay, back at it again with another video. And today, I want to discuss my thoughts on why society should decriminalize gold digging. Women who date primarily for financial gains are treated as if they are the scum of the earth. You know, it comes with a social stigma. That's why the whole slur, quote unquote, gold digger has been popularized in the first place. Women are shallow and materialistic. And you know what? You're right. Women are shallow and materialistic. However, men are just as shallow, if not more, if we're keeping it 100, you guys. A lot of men really do sit up and act, especially men within the red pill space, might I add. They really like to sit up and act as if they don't date women for superficial reasons as well. First and foremost, men will tell you their primary reason for dealing with women is looks and physical attraction. Looks are everything. Sexual attraction comes first. Looks comes first. They don't care about your education. They don't care about your intelligence. They don't care about your hobbies. They don't care about how disciplined you are in your personal life. Pretty much anything that makes you who you are beyond your looks, they don't care about. Men will say they want women of a specific race or ethnicity, how they want women of a specific skin tone, how they want women of a specific hair color or hair texture, curly, straight, wavy, whatever they want. Women of a specific body type, which tends to be hourglass. Hourglass body types are very rare, naturally, by the way. Most women do not have natural hourglass bodies. Men want women of a certain age group as well. Between 18 to 22, which is a very small window of time, 4 years. Talk about whether they do or don't like stretch marks. They talk about whether they do or don't like body hair. They even go down to the size and shape of your genitalia. I saw this Twitter post and it was several pictures of the I don't know. I'm trying not to be derogatory here. Several pictures of female genitalia, and the guys were pretty much ciphering out which one was the best looking. And I'm not saying this to say that men should drop their preferences or drop their standards for what they want for women. They're entitled to the standards that I just named. The point is, stop calling us shallow, because you guys are just as shallow. Loving somebody for what they look like primarily and not giving an F about the other aspects of their personhood, that's as shallow as it gets. That's a kiddie pool. And the way they rate women on a scale of 1 to 10, it's almost as if they're a computer that's analyzing data. She is a 8 because one eye is bigger than the other. She is a 6 because her breasts are too small. Dark-skinned black woman, automatic 0. I'm just kidding, you guys. It's not that dramatic. However, men do tend to give darker skinned women lower scores regardless of her facial symmetry. Like a black girl could have good symmetry but still get a lower score from men because their little scale of 1 through 10 is actually rigged in favor of white and light skinned women. But on this channel, we already know that. That's not the point. I may have lost the plot a little bit, but the point is, both men and women have superficial standards. However, men are the literal definition of the pot calling the kettle black. They'll point the finger and call us shallow when they literally analyze every aspect of our body. And for us, dark-skinned black women in particular, they devalue us all the time based upon our skin color, which is something we can't control. So if you guys are going to tell us that we're only worth what we look like, we're only worth our breast size, we're only worth our skin color, then you're only worth what's inside your wallet. Get over it. Another thing that men do is they'll brag to older women about how they're still able to attract younger, hotter women who are in their 20s and late teens. But gold digging is the reason why that's possible. Because why else would a 20-year-old woman be interested in a 40-plus-year-old man with declining health that has to take, Viagra? So yeah, it's not rocket science to understand that this dynamic would not exist if women were not gold diggers. So in reality, instead of complaining about gold diggers, men should be thanking gold diggers. If society collapsed tomorrow and there's no more money and everybody was just forced to survive in the wild, Who do you think the women are going to flock to for protection? The 40-plus-year-old man with declining health? Or the younger man in his 20s or 30s that has more stamina, that has more bodily function, or better bodily function, I should say? Men also like to disregard the fact that the quality of their sperm decreases with age as well. And it is a fact that they are more fertile for a lot longer than women are. However, the quality of their sperm still declines with age. Like, older sperm carries more chromosomal abnormalities. That's why sperm banks don't accept donors over the age of 39. So these older men with declining sperm quality would not be chosen if it weren't for money and gold digging. And instead of complaining, they need to be thanking. Don't mistake this as a video of me shaming men. I'm not trying to shame men. I'm just putting things into perspective. Men are absolutely entitled to their standards for women if they only want to date skinny women or women who have curly hair or whatever their standards are. The point I'm making is that both men and women have surface level preferences. So it's stupid for them to point the finger at us and saying, "You're shallow," when they are practically just as shallow, but in a different way. I would argue even more shallow, and I said this previously, because men, looks is their only thing. They make it transparently clear that looks is the only thing they care about in a woman, and a woman can look good, and that's just all she has to be. Women, on the contrary, care about the person as a whole. Like, who are you as a whole beyond what you look like? Like, what's your career? Are you ambitious? Do you have a good personality? Do you take care of yourself? Do you go to the gym? We care about the whole person. They only care about how sexy you are. They only care about showing you off to your friends like, "Yeah, I got a bad bitch," as if you're like a car or a trophy or something. That's actually where the term trophy wife derives from, because men see women primarily as objects, sexual objects first and foremost. That's why they're very particular about the way we look from head to toe, but also objects that they can show off to other men to say, "Yeah, I got a bad bitch," or "Yeah, look at what I got." That's the reality. That's why I've stopped believing in romantic love. And now I don't demonize gold diggers as much as I used to, because I used to be one of those people who will be like, "Oh, well, it's wrong to only want a man for what he has." Meanwhile, men only want women for the size of their butt, for their skin tone, for their hair texture. So, to me, it's like an eye for an eye. And women who don't fit the racialized beauty standard or the popularized beauty standard, you're sort of screwed. Men who don't fit the male standard of attractiveness, they're kind of put at a disadvantage, but they can still overcome it just by getting money. Once they get that money, they're able to get the girl of your dreams. You see all the old niggas. But a girl who does not fit the racialized beauty standard or the popularized beauty standard won't be able to do that as easily, because men only really date women for what they look like. It's as simple as that. And how is this relevant to dark-skinned women? Well, men make it abundantly clear that dark-skinned black women are at the bottom of their list, and on average are not attractive. So you have to be twice as attractive. You have to be damn near at the pinnacle of attractiveness to break that barrier, because that stereotype is working against you in every aspect of life. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's the truth. You have to be 2 times as better, 3 times as better, just to get the same chance as women of other ethnicities. That's why I push glowing up and looks maxing on this channel. There's a lot of non-surgical procedures as well as surgical procedures that you can do to help you get to the level that you need to be. There's also a lot of cosmetic interventions like makeup, hair extensions, that all races of women wear, by the way. Going to the gym and getting in peak physical condition. All of that stuff matters for women in general, because women in general are judged only by what they look like. But it's especially crucial for dark-skinned women of color, because you have to prove stereotypes wrong. Men already have it in their minds that dark skin is inferior, that the average dark-skinned woman is ugly, the average dark-skinned woman looks like a man, light skin is more beautiful. we have to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard to prove that shit wrong. So all these men complaining about women only wanting them for their money, complaining about women being quote unquote gold diggers, they can cry me a river and they can also drown in it. I don't give a fuck. This phenomenon is also the reason why I only display pictures of dark-skinned women who are very beautiful, because we need something to aspire to as dark-skinned women. We need to create our own beauty standard, and I've talked about this in previous videos. We need to embrace the Afrocentric standard of beauty. But also, I'm about proving stereotypes wrong. These men, they like to preach that, oh, attractive dark-skinned women don't exist. Black women are only attractive when they're light-skinned. Oh, really? That's why I'm able to find all of these beautiful up-and-coming black models being the no one that I am. So, yeah. Level up. Fuck shit up, black women. Get your bag and don't feel guilty about being a gold digger, because men are analyzing you from head to toe and they're not giving you any grace. And I suggest that you don't provide them with any grace as well. I know there's going to be a pick-Misha in the comment section saying, you're teaching women how to be dependent on a man. You want to be a housewife that doesn't have money of her own? That man is going to leave you and you're going to have nothing. You need to go 50-50. You need to, or else that man is going to financially abuse you. And it's like, these talking parts are so stupid. And I'm so familiar with them already, so I know how to rebuttal them. First of all, every woman needs a backup plan. You need to have something that also earns you residual income. And everybody here should know what residual income is, because if you follow this channel, if you listen to me, you're very smart and you're very intelligent. Once you find the guy that's going to be willing to take care of you, willing to take you to the upscale dinner spots, willing to buy you the expensive jewelry, willing to provide you with the lifestyle that allows you to take Pilates at 6 a.m. and drink that matcha and go get a pedicure afterwards, or to buy your favorite designer, whatever you like. Once you find a guy that's willing to do that for you, you can't rest on your laurels. You have to continue to find creative ways to keep stacking on top of what he's already giving you. You don't want to get a high-value man so that you can depend on him the way a teenager depends on their parents. You want a high-value man because you want him to be a vessel to get other things that you want in life. So if he puts you in a position where you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay for healthcare, you don't have to pay the lights, the gas, you don't have to pay a car note, that's going to give you time to pursue your dreams. That's going to give you time to write that book. That's going to give you time to go to college and maybe study biology and become a doctor. Or you can start a small business of something that you've always been passionate about, and he'll help you with the startup money. There's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of options for women who don't have to pay bills. You have more time to pursue your true dreams because you don't have to work a 9-to-5. And when you finally do get older and he starts cheating on you with younger women, or potentially leaves you for that younger woman, you won't give a fuck. Why? Because you spent all of those years building while you didn't have to pay rent. You would have already gotten what you had to get out of that relationship. You already milked the relationship by the time he starts cheating and leaves you. I know that this sounds cold-blooded, but you have to remind yourself of the fact that men love women transactionally as well. Like, men also only love women for what the woman can do for them. Men love you for your youth. Men love you as a trophy to show off to their friends. Men love you for your labor, cooking, cleaning, or maybe perhaps helping him with his business. And I'm not saying that women should not do these things. You should do these things. If you're in a relationship and that man is giving you what you want, then you should definitely give him what he wants as well. Like, give that man a fair trade-off. The point I'm trying to make is it's transactional on both sides, but women are the only ones demonized for being transactional when they're just as transactional as we are. Guys, like, really, I'm passionate about this. Romantic love is a social construct, and neither men or women truly love each other for who they are. Their hearts. That sort of love doesn't exist. Life is not a Disney movie. Anyways, y'all know who this is. I'm Makila Shea, and if you want more content like this, please subscribe to the Dark Skin Clique, and I'll see you in the next one.